So how do you reach your audience? Okay, so we talked about building your audience so you can start running some ads on Facebook, but there's a few different ways that you can actually reach your audience organically as well, okay? So this is in terms of, by the way, this is your actual posts that are going to help you to grow your audience, okay? So the content that goes on your Facebook page, not necessarily an ad, actually, I want to correct that. It's not that I mean not necessarily, but not an ad that leads people off of Facebook to your landing page to go and buy your product. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the content that you share on your Facebook page. How do you get reach so people can see that and comment on it, like it, share it, and engage with it, okay? So the first way is what's called Edgerank. Second way is boosting your post. So that's where you hit the boost post button on your post, and that's like running an ad to your post. And the third way is actually using email as a form of driving traffic to your Facebook page. So we're going to cover each one of these. So the first thing is Edgerank. So Edgerank was first announced by Facebook, I believe in 2008 or 2009. It was the first time they announced that there was an algorithm to which posts get seen by which friends, or which page posts get seen by which fans, okay? So there's a whole algorithm to this. If they showed everything to everybody, your news feed on Facebook would look like Twitter, right? Where Twitter shows everything to everybody, and it just moves so fast, right? Instagram originally was like that as well. They just implemented an algorithm to Instagram as well, right? And that's what makes Facebook so valuable. People love to log in and get their news on Facebook through the news feed, right? So you have to really appreciate that they do this. Some people look at this like, oh, they should be showing my post to all my fans. They shouldn't. It would ruin the user experience for everybody else, right? So you want to know how Edgerank works so you can optimize to the best of your abilities to get us as much free organic reach as possible. I will tell you that on a Facebook page, the amount of organic reach that you're going to get, even if you optimize it completely, is still going to be very small. You do need to boost your post, okay? This applies mostly to the posts that go on your personal profile, okay? It does apply to the pages, but the significant amount of traffic is going to be very small, again, unless you have hundreds of thousands or millions of fans, okay? So affinity, weight, and time decay. Affinity is the relationship between people and people, or people and pages. So it's asking the question, how much does your audience really know you? Now, Facebook goes back to trying to figure out all these algorithms they actually work with psychologists and sociologists, and they're trying to emulate the real world online. So when you think about it in the real world, affinity is like affinity between any two people, right? And how well we know each other is that ranking of affinity. So in the real world, how do you measure how well you know somebody?
If you know some characteristic.
Yeah, I know some character.
What do they like? What color do they like?
Exactly.
What's the color of their eyes?
Yeah, what do they like? Yeah, sure, the color of their eyes. I mean, that's very specific.
How much they share, of their personal life.
Yeah, exactly, right? So all these little things that you do on Facebook, right, that all can add to your affinity, right? So as an example, I mentioned earlier, filling your profile with everything that you like, right? That way, the more things that you have in common with other people, the more affinity you're going to have. But it goes even deeper than that. Let's just say that there's an event and you both RSVP yes. Facebook, as a computer, will think, well, you both showed up to that event. But they're also actually tracking your actual GPS, whatever, on your phone. And if you actually go to the event and you check in, and let's say you even take a photo, they're actually tracking you're actually in the same room, okay? Ooh, it gets even worse. Okay? But then let's just say you take a photo and you're both tagged in the same picture, or you're both tagged in the same album. Then they know that you're even closer together. But here's where it gets even more creepy. On your phone, how you can sync your Facebook contacts with your contacts on your phone? Yeah. Right? What I think, to get even more creepy, is that I think that as you make more calls and you're talking to more people, that actually creates more affinity on Facebook, is my theory. Okay? So they are doing that as well with like, anyone ever notice that you're getting friend suggestions from maybe, yeah, no, not strangers, but maybe like, an ex or something like that. You're like, how the hell did this person get on my friend suggestions, right? It's because either they have your phone number in their phone or you have your phone number, their phone number in your phone, and vice versa, right? So they're using the phone numbers on your phone to try to connect you with people because your phone number is probably associated to your Facebook account. So if you don't want that to happen, remove your phone number from your Facebook account. But if you remove your phone number from your Facebook account, then you can't do what's called a two-step verification on your passwords, which you should be using for security purposes. So in a sense, unless you just get a burner phone number, all that's there. Okay, so just so you know, and I don't blame you for wanting to remove that, which there's options out there. So you had a question? Okay.
Yeah, it was just more about the privacy thing because I've noticed that with online dating.
Yeah.
Like if you're texting with someone that you've met online, but they don't like know my last name or anything about me, and all of a sudden I come up as a friend.
Yeah, I know.
They now know everything about me. And
I can tell you something else.
that way, so like
Yeah, I had it happen to me as well. So what you do is your phone number on your Facebook profile, make sure it's set to friends only, or I make mine set to me only. Only I can see it. Okay? Because what happens is someone can just take your phone number and just punch it into the search bar on Facebook, and most of the time that person's profile will pop up. I've also Googled people's phone numbers and then saw embarrassing posts that they put on Craigslist because it just indexes on Google, right? Anything you posted online that has your phone number and it's associated to your name, like you could find it, right? But most of the time you just punch in a phone number on the search bar, it's gonna pull up the profile as well. All right, so that's just some examples of how Affinity works. Now, weight is the amount of comments, likes, and tags and so on that are on the post itself. Okay, so this asks the question, are you adding value? So on a post, you can attach, right, a photo, a video, an event. In Facebook groups, you could attach a poll on there, do a poll, right? So there's like attachments you can put on a post, okay? So by adding those attachments and doing those things, that's also going to create more weight on your post. But the thing that creates the most weight is going to be comments, likes, and shares. Okay? So you do want to get those comments, likes, and shares. The next one here is time decay. So how long ago was a post created? The question here is, how often are you posting? So you do want to be posting on a frequent basis, okay? But you got to keep in mind that when you make a post, that post lifespan is between 24 to 48 hours, okay? But what I believe is that it's 24 to 48 hours from the last comment. Because if you notice, if you have an old post or if you've ever tried to comment on someone's old photo, if you comment, like if you went back to someone's very first photo and left a comment on it, it would pop right back in the newsfeed to all your mutual friends and probably to most of their friends as well. And if it's a public photo, to your friends as well, right? So it goes based on the last comment, okay? 24 to 48 hours, after that it kind of dies off. What happens is, if you make a post and then an hour later you make another post, this first post isn't gonna get anything. It's only gonna be the top post. So when you're posting, okay, and you're getting lots of comments and engagement, do not make another post until it completely dies off. Otherwise you just wasted all that extra reach you would have got. Especially important if you have a post that's getting tons of comments and tons of likes throughout the entire week. I see people make this mistake very often where they'll post once, there are things getting lots of comments, and then they just make another post about something totally different. And you notice those people get very little comments and likes on every post because they're posting too frequently. Okay? So this is especially true with personal profiles, but it's also true with Facebook pages. Okay? So you do want to be posting frequently, and again, I recommend on pages, you want to post, my recommendation is once per week, a really good juicy piece of content, and then you boost it, okay? On a personal profile, I would say once a day is okay, or every 2 days, something like that, at minimum once a week on a personal profile. But if you have a post and you're getting tons of comments, like for example, when I posted that picture of Marcus after he's first born, that was like a week of people commenting and liking, and I didn't post anything else, and it just kept on getting more and more comments. If on that day I would have made another post right away, it would have stopped it right away, right? Yeah. So I just waited because I saw the comments were still coming in, whatever. I just didn't say anything. I just waited. And the other part of it too is I always engage with the comments. I always like every person's comment. I always want to acknowledge people. Remember, how do you build relationships really quickly? You have something in common with other people and you let the other person know they're being heard. That's in the real world, right? How do you let someone know you're being heard? In the real world, there's eye contact, you go, right? Like there's, you know.
Heard them with just the light.
Yeah, it's just, So if you look back at any of my posts, I like every single comment that comes in. And if someone like makes a question or they make a joke, like an inside joke or something, you know, I'll respond. If it's appropriate and I've got like a response to it, I respond to those comments as well, right? And that keeps the conversation going even longer, right? That's when a post, even on a personal profile, can stretch for a week because there's all these conversations because you've intertwined all these conversations within the comments.